Prentice Hemphill says, "Borders are the distance at which I can love you and me simultaneously." Thank you so much for being here and learning about boundaries today. Learning about why boundaries are important and how they can really take your life in a different direction. So, I want to start with what you think you might know about boundaries. When I think of boundaries, I think of movies like Lord of the Rings, or movies where there's a villain who draws a line in the sand, an ultimatum. I was always taught that boundaries were something that other people did, not me. So when it came to learning about boundaries, I automatically thought about how uncomfortable setting and holding boundaries are. But unhealthy boundaries are the boundaries where you do draw that line in the sand and you do become that villain to someone else because you're trying to stop them from expressing themselves in some way. So to them, you're the bully. And none of us really, I don't think, want to be bullies, want to be mean to one another. So when we set unhealthy boundaries, we kind of keep the bullying alive. We keep the back and forth of going to war, whether it's inside of ourselves or with someone else, or at war with our life or our neighbors. So unhealthy boundaries, ones that change with the wind, that are designed to control someone else, those are the boundaries, the types of boundaries that really keep you stuck in a place where you can't get out of. Now, healthy boundaries, on the other hand, aren't about someone else, because the world's going to be the way that the world is. There's going to be elephants and hyenas. There's going to be penguins and polar bears. There's going to be salmon and flamingos. The world is a very big place. And if you set boundaries to try to control all of the different souls that exist together, you're going to spend all of your time fighting. But if you set boundaries for yourself, healthy boundaries that say, I'm no longer willing to let myself be more uncomfortable than I'm willing to be. When you start to have compassion, when your boundaries are based on self-respect and self-care, then you have healthy boundaries, ones that raise each other up, ones that encourage each of us to become, to evolve, and to grow. So, unhealthy boundaries keep us stuck, trapped in that back and forth of who wins. And healthy boundaries are based on self-respect, based on what you uniquely need to thrive in this world. How much space you need to breathe, how much room you need to think, how much connection you need to have, how much art you need to have in your life. each one of us is different. And so when you respect who you are, then boundaries come naturally, because they're no longer based on the ever-changing world of stress and tension, of the phase of the moon, the direction of the wind. But now it's based on you caring about you. So you may already know all of this about boundaries. You may have been to weekend workshops or in therapy for a while. Maybe you've seen energy healers or gotten massages. Maybe you've tried meditation or studied Buddhism, or dove back into your spirituality. And you might wonder, why didn't any of these work? I still only set boundaries which change depending upon how I feel. You might not feel like you've made any progress. You might feel like you've been trying things to feel stronger and to have more voice for years. There's a reason that these tools that you learned both worked and didn't work. Over the last 10 to 15 years, they've studied PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and they've discovered in the body how your body creates a stressful event and how it reverses it. Now, trauma is different for everyone. For some people, trauma was watching Wizard of Oz at the wrong time. I was never able to watch the tornado and the Wicked Witch in the tornado until I was at least in high school. For other people, traumas are bigger. But we all have them. And they're those memories that are still stuck in our body that we didn't know how to reverse. Maybe there was a religion or a tradition or a particular type of therapy that would kind of work, but it wasn't consistent. Because we now understand the rules, the hidden, invisible rules about your nervous system and trauma, we now know how to use all those tools you've been trying and learning and teach you how to use them so they work. So you reverse your trauma. So when you think about boundaries, you stay relaxed. So your boundaries are based on your own values and your dreams and your integrity. And they aren't based on what relationships you have, what job you're in, or what family you came from. Simply based on giving yourself enough room to grow in the way that you grow best. And only you know the way that you grow best. So when you get good at boundaries, by learning how to stay relaxed and centered in your body, that's when you start to get the space to follow your dreams, to create better relationships, and to heal your old family wounds. Brené Brown says, the most compassionate people she knows are also the people with the best and the strongest boundaries. When you love yourself by making sure that you get what you need consistently every day, and you have the support and the network and the people to help you do that, your whole life turns around for the better. So in the next class, we're going to talk about what you can do to calm your nervous system down and to get better at boundaries. So leave a comment below, and I'd love to hear from you. Your stories, your joys, and let's learn how to set better boundaries together. Okay.
I got one thing for the end of that kind of comment.